Okay. So the recording is on, right?
Yes.
Okay. So very good evening, everyone present here. Those who are on the forum on this Google Meet, we welcome everyone here. Those who are not, maybe they will be joining us later on. I welcome them as well.
Can
Right?
I request everyone, at least the speakers, to switch on your cameras before we proceed? The guest and the host, please switch on your cameras.
My camera is on. Arnab Basu is on.
अच्छा, on सकता है.
Uh,
Okay.
uh,
Another, you are not visible, BB.
See, I think there is some problem at your end, Mukul.
अच्छा,
it may
okay.
be because of the network issue.
Maybe. Okay, ठीक है. Please go ahead.
All right.
Yep.
So again, let me come back. So very good evening, everyone. Today being the Environment Day, we are here again under the banner of Exploring Natures, going live on Jungle Chimes. Today is 5th of June, 7 p.m. And we have a very special occasion today. Apart from the being the World Environment Day, we are having Arnab Basu, who is a fantastic photographer, who has done who has achieved many wonders. And today we'll be discussing about his book on pseudo ecotourism, which is again a very important thing in today's world. What this book is all about, whatever he has written there, what are the inspirations behind. We'll discuss that those things in the later phase of this show. So again, taking the show forward, I again welcome everyone. Maybe our co-host, Dr. Mithilesh Dutt Dwivedi, will join us later on. He is personally engaged somewhere. But again, uh, as far as exploring nature is concerned, as we all know, that it is a wildlife consulting company, and when it comes to consultancy, uh, why this consultancy is actually required, and what is exploring nature? Consultancy is basically because the environment is composed of many vital elements, be it the flora, fauna, then the ecosystems all around. Then again, we have different people who actually aspire to safeguard the interests of the environment, to create and sustain a harmonious coexistence between humanity and the nature. So it is exploring nature is a community of like-minded people who love to be in nature. And we always feel that Mother Nature has its own rhythm and rhymes, and we must tune it for a better future, better tomorrow. So we always have, we are always guided by the principles of conservation, so that our future generation inherit a very positive, thriving, and pristine natural world. So this is the basic core idea behind the formation of exploring natures and having this community. And we always have the vision to create a world where every individual cherishes the beauty of nature. And because of that, we have a mission to inspire and educate individuals to cherish the beauty of nature and create awareness, so that we fulfill our aspiration, which is for a very futuristic approach, where every decision and action is taken by conservation principles. So we extend our open arms, and invite everyone to join us on this journey of exploration, because as we see today, being June 2024, the kind of nature, the kind of heat waves going around, we need to understand that we are doing some wrong with the nature, and because of that, the global warming and other kind of disturbances are there in the nature. So we need to harmonize with nature, so that at least our future generation is safer, secure, and obviously they are having a better and sustainable life in the later phases of their life. Right. To carry this thing, we have different platforms. We have Jungle Chimes, which is a regular talk show being delivered by the domain experts, where they share their insights, where we conduct interviews, and I extend once again extend this invitation to everyone. If you know somebody who has delivered something in the field of nature, be it by photography or excursions or other way around, you can always recommend us, and we would like to reach to them and take them on our show. Uh, this is for the digital platform. And again, we have our Whispering Wilds, which is a wildlife magazine, uh, which is aiming to create awareness about nature and educate people through their contents. Photographs are being showcased here. So, if anybody wants to contribute to this magazine by writing their contents, sharing their thoughts and insights, they're always welcome, and they can always approach the admins. Whispering Wilds, we have different versions being launched at different phases of the year calendar. And as far as our services is concerned, we have a exhaustive list. We do conduct nature trails and photo walks. We conduct different workshops for wildlife photography. What wildlife photography is all about? How can one take a career in wildlife photography and wildlife as such? Uh, then again, wildlife boot camps are there. We train people on wildlife journalism. We do expeditions on photographies and field camps. We do provide consultancy to different stakeholders of the wildlife, be it the government or be it the resorts and the people there. We always promote wildlife tourism in collaboration with the premium resorts. We have been conducting workshops on landscape and astrophotography. This is some of the services that we provide, and obviously, we'd like to have more and more kind of services included into these. So again, it depends upon the kind of event that we do. We like if the nature trail is there and photo walks are there, we have a duration of 2 to 4 hours. Like, and if we do like the introduction to the wildlife career and photography, it again goes for 2 to 4 hours. Then we have wildlife photography workshop extends to 8 hours. Then wildlife photography workshops, which is at the advanced level, it is like 2 to 3 day full day program. Then wildlife boot camps, it's around 5 days. So it ranges from the couple of hours to couple of weeks as well. So we are doing that, and we because of that we have been showcased in different media channels across the India, across the country. So these are some of the glimpses of that. Whatever we have done, we are doing. So these are kind of training programs, like the program you're seeing on the screen right now. This is just a snapshot of the vulture awareness program conducted in villages and schools at Palamau Tiger Reserve in June 2022. So we have been doing that, and we always aspire to do this in future as well. So some of the glimpses of those kind of things. And again, coming back to the show, uh, we have our guest today, Arnab Basu, who is an environmentalist by training and profession, and a wildlife enthusiast by hobby. He has traveled across more than 200 ecotourism destinations of 7 countries in 3 continents. And these include Western Himalayas of India and Eastern Himalayas of Bhutan and Northeast India. Then you can name Western Ghats. You can always count on Central India and Eastern Ghats, sub-Himalayas, Terai region of India and Nepal, mangroves of India and Bangladesh, Tundra region of Scottish Thailand, rainforest of Sumatra, desert of Kutch and Western India, and Swana of South Africa. And I always pray to God कि इनकी ये list और बढ़ती रहे, and we have more continents to cover and more countries to cover. So another all the best for that. As far as your academic and voluntary services and works are concerned, you have conducted different assessment of urban and suburban biodiversity at Kolkata, Salt Lake, Wetland, South Bengal. You have conducted studies on joint forest management and wildlife in Southwest Bengal under the supervision of Department of Forest, Government of West Bengal, and under the joint guidance of Environment Management Department of IISWBM and National Afforestation and Eco Development Board, Government of India. So this is a very short profile to say about, but you can always write books on Arnab Basudi. He has done so much that obviously time is too less to tell more about him. Uh, He has also conducted various jungle survival courses under the Jungle Survival Academy of India. Then he holds a postgraduate diploma in environmental law from National Law School of India, the University of Bangalore. Then he, again, as we know, that he has authored a couple of books on contemporary sustainability and environmental issues, such as The Journey Through Following National and Global Situation of Sustainability in this decade, and a silver lining in the ease of doing business. Right. He has also published various articles on wildlife, nature-based solutions, ecotourism, sustainability, environmental issues, and various national and international magazines of repute. Currently, he's working on another semi-autobiographical non-fiction novel based on ecotourism in the continent of India. So this is just a small glimpse of whatever he has been doing, and again, a very nice photograph to introduce you on this forum, sir. Uh, so this is all about exploring nature and whatever we are doing, and again, taking the show today. I'd like to invite Arnab and to tell something about his book, how this book actually came in figure, how he actually uh, got into this thought of writing a book. So we have to learn lot many things from you, sir, and definitely we'd like to hear more from you. तो सबसे पहले सर मैं आपसे को तो इस बुक के लिए बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद करना चाहूंगा, बहुत बहुत कॉम्प्लीमेंट्स देना चाहूंगा. Congratulations on your book. uh, what is like how this concept of writing a book on this particular theme came to your mind, sir?
Okay. So thank you very, very much, first of all, for the introduction and for your wishes. So this book, which the title of this book is Pseudo Ecotourism in the Shadow of the Bengal Tiger. Uh, so, uh, so I started my, as you have explained, actually, you have while introducing me, you talked about the various places of the world I have traveled for as ecotourist and also as a hobbyist wildlife photography. So this hobby was started almost a decade back, around 2015, and at that time, of course, it was just for fun, and primarily the intention was to become the most interesting person in the room by kind of showing my photographs or telling other people that I have been in some of the exotic places of the world. However, when I was doing these things, and more and more I started actually visiting various forests and mountains and various other ecotourism destinations across world, and especially various part of this subcontinent, Indian subcontinent. I got an opportunity to interact with many people. So people who are directly and indirectly involved or directly or indirectly related to this hobby of ecotourism. So they were basically maybe the eco-tour operators, maybe nature guides, maybe when you go for safari, there is a driver who drive your gypsies, or if you are on the river, then there's the boatman, and the forest dwellers, more importantly, because you go and stay with forest dwellers, the local indigenous people. When the more and more that interaction started happening with this type of people, I started noticing that there is a correlation between this hobby of ecotourism and wildlife photography with my profession of sustainability, which I was doing for more than 10 years. So I'm talking about 10 years back. So that time I was already completed 10 years of profession in sustainability field. And I started noticing that there's a relation between ecotourism and wildlife photography. It may sound like a fun activity, a hobby, but it has a very deep connection with my actual academic training in environment and my profession on sustainability. And when I started realizing this correlation, then I felt an urge of telling the stories about this correlation, the correlation between my hobby of wildlife photography and ecotourism and my profession of sustainability. And that's how the book was practically conceptualized.
Hmm. So why this particular genre, Samir? Because you have different kind of experiences and scope of your work. So, what is the main reason for picking up this particular genre of your book, sir?
So before talking about telling you the genre, I first like to talk about what this book all about.
Hmm.
Then probably the question of genre can be better answered. So, as you have already introduced myself as a sustainability professional. So definitely, as a sustainability professional, I wrote a book. So I would like to call the book that book actually the book of sustainability, the book of sustainability. However, the reality is that I never put sustainability as a subject at the forefront of this book. So when you start reading the book, initially at initial few chapters, or even if you go to various chapters of the book, you probably may not realize that it is a book of sustainability, because sustainability I purposefully kept very hidden at the core of the book under various layers. So the core concept, sustainability of the book, is basically hidden by various layers, and those layers are various interesting aspects of human life. Those layers are about human relationship, the people-to-people relationship. Those layers are about human desire, natural desire of human for fame and glory, natural desire for human about materialism, human desire for commodity fetishism. All those things, those are the natural desire we human have in this world. So that's another layer which is presented to various illustration of characters, to various narration of various stories. And there's one more very important layer, and perhaps the most predominant layer, which is about adventures in forests, adventures in mountains. So these three are very important layers, which probably, if you read the book, you have to go through. So when you say adventurism, is basically surviving in difficult climatic conditions, surviving in difficult challenging terrain, dealing with animal attacks, encounter with wild animals, all those things are there. So I personally feel that my readers who will be reading this book, they will definitely enjoy going through these layers of human to human relationship, these layers about human desire, these layers about adventures, because these are generally these three components of interesting components, right? I mean, and especially it become even more interesting components if these are real things, because this is a non-fiction, this is not a fiction which I have written. So once you start going through these layers, you start enjoying actually all those stories about human relationship, human desire, and adventures in forests and mountains, you come across the concept of sustainability while going through these layers. So sustainability is definitely there. It is a book of sustainability, but it will not appear as a book of sustainability, because sustainability is at the very core of this book, and the readers need to go through these various layers to reach at the core concept of it. So one more thing I'd like to clarify over here, that as you have told that I have done wildlife photography, and I have myself also told that I'm a hobbyist wildlife photography. I started doing wildlife photography for fun. But this book is definitely not a book of wildlife photography. No way. This is whatever this book is, definitely is not a wildlife photography. So definitely I started writing this book when I was a hobbyist wildlife photography. And here also, even the book also, I've used wildlife photography to tell certain stories. The incidents which I have come across, all those incidents happened when I was doing wildlife photography. But essentially, in this book, I have been a bit satirical about wildlife photography. In more than one occasions, probably if somebody read the book, will come across such situations where I have been sarcastic about wildlife photography. The way wildlife photography, we wildlife photographers do. I've been sarcastic about myself, my own way of doing wildlife photography. And that I used my wildlife photography, my own wildlife photography, and my fellow wildlife photographers' wildlife photography, I used to create certain subtle humor in this book. So therefore, this book is now come to an actual question, that this genre. So this book is genre. It is a memoir, first of all. So it's autobiography, but autobiography of a certain period of my life. It's not the autobiography which started how when I was born and what I did. Is not all about that. It is about a specific period of my life when I was doing wildlife photography in various forests of India. So therefore, it is a memoir more than an autobiography. And as a sustainability professional, as a hobbyist wildlife photography, it was very obvious for me actually, very easy also, to tell stories based on the concept of sustainability and wildlife photography. That's probably the main reason I picked up this genre, because I found it's my area of work and it's my area of activities. So I picked up this genre and I told the stories of my own life related to this sustainability and wildlife photography. And also, you would probably agree with me that the concept of climate change has become a household terminology. In everybody now, every world we talk about climate. Even you started our today's session by talking about how it's become very hot all over India, and these are all kind of indication of climate change. So therefore, I thought that when in one hand the climate change as a concept becoming a household terminology, at the same time the interest for nature and wildlife is also increasing at the equal pace, at the equal acceleration. So all those things, my profession, my hobbies, my experience of last 10 years in the forest, the climate change has become a prominent issues, and more and more interest for the general people about nature and wildlife. All those things kind of together inspired me to write a book on sustainability and ecotourism themed memoir. So this is how I like to explain it.
Right, right. So it has been a very long gestation period, 10 years plus years that you actually took to write this book and complete this book. Uh, Definitely, this is a very, very big time, counting around 10 years. So there, for any writer, there is a very important concept that is called a writer's block. So
Yeah.
did you face any writer's block during this course of books, sir?
Many times I felt writer's block, and so that's a very common thing actually, because writing is a creative work, right? So every time you may not get the idea, you may not get the right kind of thoughts, and even there are thoughts. There are a lot of thoughts. There are a lot of things probably going on in your mind, but how to put down in a piece of paper, or rather, in nowadays, if I say through the laptop, actually on the Word document by typing, the exact what exactly you wanted to say may not come out, and also it need to be presented in a way so that people like reading it, right? People get hooked into it and people like reading it, because if essentially it's your experience important for you, but why other people will care for it, right? Other people has no business in your experience unless this is something they can correlate with that, or this is something you're telling unusual, or maybe you are telling something controversial, or you're maybe telling some things that interesting to read. So how you can bring all those things together so that other people can read, and at the same time you're not writing fiction, you're writing non-fiction, so you cannot your imagination has a limitation. You cannot take everything for a writer's creative right. You have to stick to the fact, stick to what exactly happened. So these things kind of, you struggle actually doing such things, and that's why you hit writer's block. So I have gone through actually writer's block several times while writing this book.
That is a very, very important tip, sir. Actually, those who are budding writers and those who might be facing about the writer's block. So this is a very important tip, sir, that you have here. Any other tip that you would like to give forth to the writers who are there writing their book, their own concept, maybe related to photography, maybe related to wildlife, maybe related to the writer's block? But any set of tips that you would like to share, because you are experienced in writing different books and
related to writer's block. One thing I can say, I mean, of course, everybody probably have their own way of dealing with this. But for me, how it always worked actually, to taking a break from writing. So when the ideas are not coming, or ideas are coming, but you are not able to narrate it the way you wanted to do it, or way the other people will like it, better to take a break. And I used to do that. I used to take a break and then probably to give my thought process, my thinking a bit kind of relief. What I did basically, I read a book which is not related to the book which I'm writing. For example, I'm writing the book on sustainability or wildlife or ecotourism, right? Probably I read maybe something related to a fiction, maybe a random fiction. Probably I'll read, or I'll watch a movie which has no relation actually on what I was writing, or I'll watch a documentary which has no relation which I was writing. So that's what I did many times. Actually, I took a break from writing and I did something which is, or watched something which is not related to the subject on which I was working. That helped me to feel a bit relaxed, relieved, and at the same time, probably sometimes watching those unrelated things probably gave me some idea to on how to put my thoughts in a way so that people may find it interesting reading.
Yes. Okay, so very valuable tips that you have given. I just cross my fingers and wish you all the best that you at least write books in double digits, sir. So it should not be like one, two, three, or four books under your name. I want at least kind of 10 plus books to be written in your whole life of journey, maybe hundreds if you could just be generous enough. So, what is your next book coming, sir? Can you, if you,
Okay. Okay. I mean, see, honestly, that this book which I have written, there's a purpose behind it. Okay. The purpose is this book may, as I told you, this book may read like the stories of interesting relationship, interesting human behavior or adventures, but essentially the purpose of this book is communicating a message. So this message is, as you see the title of the book, Pseudo Ecotourism. So that means what? Pseudo is definitely a negative word, right? So Pseudo Ecotourism title itself is suggests that there must be something wrong in the whole concept of ecotourism, the way probably we define or we perceive. Okay. So that means there is a problem statement in this book, which I wanted to mention. And when you present a problem statement as an author, it is a responsibility also to provide a solution. Okay. And how we can overcome this pseudo ecotourism, the practice of pseudo ecotourism, is essentially the message through this book, which I have coined the term inclusive ecotourism. You know, one of our previous session with exploring nature, we actually had a session on inclusive ecotourism. That's what you mean by inclusive ecotourism.
yes.
So that inclusive ecotourism, how it practice, how does it look like? How does it can be practiced? What is the importance of doing it, and how it can be done in an effective way? That's a key message through this book, to all the stories of adventure and relationship and whatnot, commodity, fetishism, whatever. So that's the main story. That's the main purpose. So what I want to do, I want this concept get maximum outreach to the maximum possible people. So before getting, yeah. So why I'm saying this, that before taking up another writing assignment, rather I would spend all my time and energy in propagating this message of this book. Otherwise, the purpose of my writing will not be fulfilled. So probably next, I have already started doing that. That's what I'm doing right now here. And then all the forum, all the platform, wherever I go, I talk about this book. My only objective is that the concept of ecotourism get well received. Concept of inclusive ecotourism get well received by the people. People understand. People share their feedback. If people want to criticize, people do that. But people should think about the concept of inclusive ecotourism. That I want to do before picking up any further writing assignment. So I exactly cannot tell you that when my next book is coming, but I will keep working on propagating this message of inclusive ecotourism.
Yeah, definitely. That's a very noble cause that you're taking up. Do you have a book in your hands? बुक आपके पास में है क्या ऐसा?
हाँ हाँ बिल्कुल है, ये है.
So I just like to have certain, if you could read something from your book so that we have the idea, and obviously
Okay.
from the writer's mouth, if you have to something to listen
Okay.
aloud, please.
Okay. Okay, so I'll read two section of the book from two different chapters. Okay, so first I will read from the preamble section, page 4, preamble section of the book, which will kind of give you that what exactly message I wanted to convey. Okay, and then I'll read from a very interesting chapter of the book, which actually tell you the how the various stories are illustrated in this book, or various stories are narrated in this book. So first, let me read from the chapter 4 preamble section of the book, which is about the key concept of the book. So this is page 4. So not chapter 4, sorry, page 4 preamble section of the book, Pseudo Ecotourism in the Shadow of the Bengal Tiger. An ordinary human who takes part in ecotourism or clicks pictures of nature and her rare flora and fauna, despite not being a wildlife expert, helps in dispersing the splendors of nature and wildlife among many other ordinary humans who haven't yet experienced this. This makes the hobbies of ecotourism and wildlife photography powerful influencers in promoting the concept of nature-based solution. The solution to save the planet, which is hidden within nature herself. All we need is to let such hobbies become inclusive so that the beneficial impacts are bestowed equally upon all living life forms, not just on one single species. Let us together embrace an inclusive ecotourism where every human and non-human life form have equal place, and let us discard the pseudo-ecotourism from this beautiful planet we call home. So this is from the preamble section of the book, which kind of give an idea about the of the uh, concept of the book. Now I'll read few paragraphs of the book. Few paragraphs of the book from the chapter 5. Yeah, chapter 5, page 136, chapter 5. So just to give you a context, actually, so this chapter is when I was cruising in Sundarbans. So I was it's an ecotourism tour in Sundarbans, and the most shattering incident of my life had happened in that particular trip, which basically compelled me to redefine the concept of ecotourism, the way I was doing ecotourism, the way I was doing photography. Everything basically got, all the concept got upside down after that incident. What that incident, I'm not going to tell you, because that will basically kind of giving away that will basically a spoiler. So I'll not want to do that, but I'll read a certain chapter, a certain paragraph of this book, which happened on the previous day of that incident happened. Okay, so let me read that from the page 136, chapter 5 of book Pseudo Ecotourism. The third day of our exploration, we are awed as usual at the break of dawn. As the day got brighter, we sighted a few collared and black-winged kingfishers. The kingfishers of Sundarbans did not disappoint us. However, the sighting worthy of mention when the first golden rays fell on Vidyadhari River and cleared the mists was a pair of Irrawaddy dolphins. They were swimming across the breadth of the river, and occasionally their noses popped out of the water. Irrawaddy dolphins are shy of boats, not known to bow ride, and generally dive when alarmed. They are relatively slow moving. Therefore, our sighting was also from quite far through telephoto lenses and binoculars. They are more susceptible to human conflict than most other dolphins that live further out in the ocean. and currently the species is endangered. The pair kept us busy for some time, although taking their images was not easy, as we had merely milliseconds to spot them when they occasionally popped or leapt out of water. The river and the forest around it were very quiet today. Occasionally, we got busy with some birds and tried to follow them. At one point, a shikra held our attention for a few minutes. Then again, chasing. Then again, a prolonged quiet moment. Then sometime spent chasing a cuckoo shrike. Getting a clear shot of cuckoo shrike was difficult, as it was not perched in a manner convenient to shoot. Therefore, we spent some time to see if it sat on a good branch against a background of green leaves, but luck did not favor us. Overall, it was a slow day with peaceful cruising among mangroves over the serene Vidadari River. At 8 a.m., breakfast was served. After we were done with breakfast, our crew took a break to finish theirs. Suddenly, Gaurango shouted, "Bagh, bagh." Bagh is Bengali. Bagh in Bengali means tiger. He was pointing towards a creek. I saw a horizontal orangish patch against the background of white mist and dull mudflat at the merging point of water and the outward edge of mudflat. Then I heard a huge commotion in our boat and saw everyone rushing towards the front end of the boat as the orangish patch was exactly at 12 o'clock position along our course. Gaurango jumped into his driver's cabin and cruised the boat in full throttle. I watched through my newly bought Tamron 150 and 600 telephoto lens as the orange patch gradually turned into a sizable tawny coat with black stripes. The Bengal tiger of Sundarbans, at a distance of merely a kilometer from me, descended into the water and started swimming. There was one other boat ahead of us and closer to the tiger. My eyes were moist. It was an emotional moment. I always thought my Sundarbans visit was jinxed. After a lot of patience, trauma, preparation, and investment, I was finally experiencing what I had desired. I had waited a long time. Gaurango cruised the boat in full speed towards the direction of the tiger. Everybody in the boat was giddy with excitement. Both Riddhi and Samar gave Gaurango rapid instruction on movement and direction of the tiger. The tawny coat black stripe was moving in water like a torpedo released from a submarine. We relentlessly pressed our camera shutters. In under 50 seconds, the tiger had reached the other side of the canal, emerged from water, shook off water from its body, looked at us, and disappeared slowly into the thick mangroves. We were within few hundred meters from him by that time. Riddhi announced, "We just saw the certified man-eater of Sundarbans."
No, it's so mesmerizing, sir. I just got involved into it, and I could hardly realize that you have stopped your narration, sir. That's really a compliment for you. Like,
So this is the book. Around 14 chapters are there and one epilogue. So it's a around 400 pages book. This book is all about this type of experiences. Some of the experiences are nerve-wracking. Some of the experiences probably nobody had. The kind of experience I had, I can claim here actually with a lot of confidence. And it's a memoir. It's a non-fiction. So there is no imagination here. Everything is true. Every story is told as true. Every characters which I have introduced, the names you saw, you heard a lot of names I was taking, right? These are all real name of the real characters, except 3 characters. For 3 characters, I use their pseudonym. I didn't use the real name because their personal life were way too exposed. Yeah. So I talked about relationship and all those things. So those 3 characters interrelationship was narrated in this book because it was needed to be narrated for the sake of this book. And that's the reason actually I didn't use their real name. I used the pseudonym. But otherwise all names are real and all characters are real, all incidents are real.
that is always a writer's liberty, sir. So
Yeah,
we
right.
change the names and all. But again, if someday of the light, we could see a movie coming on this, and it will be having a caption that inspired on, based on a real story, based on the real experiences. So
So
I
yes,
just
so my publisher, Kyoto Publication, they're already working on that. So they are pitching to some of the OTT platform,
Hmm.
but I do not know whether that will be successful or not. But they are working on that basically.
Since you
Make
are
some.
inspired for that, since you are doing the homework for that, so obviously someday or the other, it might be there on the OTT or a bigger screen, sir. So my all the compliments and all the wishes for you, sir. As far as any book is concerned, sir, there are various, contents, or there are various elements to it. One is like the writer itself. Okay. The second is the whole concept or the subject. Like here, the tiger is there. Then you have different environmental or concerned ecosystems coming along. That is third aspect. But one aspect that normally we actually don't talk about much, probably they are the unsung fraternity. They are your family members. Without their support, I don't believe that you could have written such a wonderful book. So, any message for them? What were their
Yes.
contributions in this book, sir? So, please.
Okay. So I think there are two people who really played very crucial role in this book. So two of my very close friends. One person, his name is Padmanabhan Girinathan Nair. So he himself is a character in this book because I traveled with him, and he played a very crucial role in encouraging me. He was the one who read the manuscript several times before even it has gone to publication. And another person is his wife. That person's wife, Brinda. She's actually the editor of this book. So she did an excellent job of helping to shine the manuscript. The manuscript, which could be with a point of view that someone else would read, someone else who doesn't have maybe sustainability background, doesn't come with wildlife background, but will be interested to read the book. Just share because of the power of storytelling. So she helped a lot in that. So these are the two people are very important people who helped me. Without them, I could not have published this book. And of course, there are a lot of other people. I have a lot of friends who contributed knowingly, unknowingly. I mentioned their name in the acknowledgement. There's a long list, but I mean, of course, when you do something, maybe it's only the author's name is written in the book, but a lot of people do not know that how many people actually worked behind the scene.
Yes, 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 yes. So that is very wonderful to know, sir. And I also join your hands, like to get the compliments and thanks to the people who actually supported you and inspired you. So, any particular message that you would like to give to your readers, your fans, and what are the platforms your book is available around?
Okay, so this book is now available to 17 to 20 global distributors. So there are around 17 to 20 global distributors. If you just search by Pseudo Ecotourism in Google, you'll get it. Yeah, because there is not many book in this title. Pseudo Ecotourism itself is a very uncommon title. So if you search by Pseudo Ecotourism or Pseudo Ecotourism by Arnab Basu, you get to see there are at least 20 global distributors. But the most important and common distributor is, of course, Amazon. You see, you can buy the book in Amazon. You can buy the book from Flipkart, eBay, or in the publisher's website also it is available. And this book is available in Kindle. This book is available in Google Playbook form. Book is available in paperback, and of course, hardcover, so various the regular formats. This book is available. And consider the key message. See, first of all, that why I wrote this book. So that itself is basically the key message I wanted to convey to everybody. That first, that people need to understand ecotourism. So exploring nature as an organization is also essential in ecotourism organization, right? And so that way we are all kind of part of the same fraternity. Yeah, you, I, and people who are here, Mukul, everybody, we are part of this industry called ecotourism. But we all agree, we probably we should all agree on this, that this industry is highly unorganized sector. This is a highly unorganized sector. There is no, this is not even considered as a mainstream industry, ecotourism, right? People do it for fun. If tourism industry, people say tourism industry, but by tourism industry, we mean all the luxury tourism, the typical tourism. But if you talk about ecotourism, this is very unorganized sector. So one of the purpose of writing this book is telling people the power of ecotourism in generating our awareness about environment and ecosystems, able us to practice sustainability, small things actually in our daily life, and the ability of ecotourism in fighting climate change. We all talk about climate change. It's like as I told you, it's like a household terminology nowadays, right? But ecotourism has a tremendous potential to fight back climate change in many other ways. Not just that, ecotourism is a tremendous tool to improve the socio-environmental condition of the people, right? It can generate livelihoods. The people who are otherwise marginalized, they don't know other skill sets. Just by getting involved in ecotourism, they can find a way of making their living. They can convert into protector of the nature and forest, and they can contribute significantly in the conservation of environment and the wildlife species. And ecotourism can motivate them in doing that. Ecotourism can motivate them, ecotourism can train them, and ecotourism can channelize financial support towards them. So this is one important aspect I wanted to tell to my readers, the importance of ecotourism, and therefore I basically urging everybody to participate in ecotourism. Yeah. And the same thing during our last session also I told when I was talking about inclusive ecotourism. Now also I would like to say the same thing, that if now summer vacation is going on, right? If you're planning a vacation, and in a year, if you go for vacation twice in a year, then at least one of them should be a dedicated vacation for ecotourism, because that will tremendously help you in uplifting your mental state, your ability to appreciate nature, and your ability to understand actually how you can contribute in nature, in conservation. And you'll stop complaining about climate change, actually realize why the problem of climate change is there and how to deal with that. This is one thing. And another important aspect I want to communicate through this book, that when you are putting ecotourism, do not go by the standard definition of ecotourism that you have to go to a tiger reserve and see a tiger. If you go to a tiger reserve and don't see a tiger, then your ecotourism is a failed ecotourism. So that also something I wanted to tell, that that's not the right way of doing ecotourism. And that's why the concept of inclusive ecotourism is coming. That even a small rural village, if you go and stay there and roam around the village, if you know actually how to look into the village and you interact with right kind of people, you're accompanied by right kind of people, then you will be able to understand that even a small village can give you tremendous pleasure as far as ecotourism is concerned. You always do not need to see tiger or elephant for that matter. So these are the key message I wanted to convey through this book, and that's what I wanted to tell everybody through here also in this platform.
So thank you for your message to the readers, sir. And looking forward for your more books, more insight, more experiences, and definitely would like to have more times on this particular show. You have been a hero, and just to carry on this, you are the hero, you are the guest of the honor for today. But may I take this opportunity to introduce a very important concept that Exploring Nature is going to do, that is Wildlife Hero Awards. So Wildlife Hero Awards actually go to the people who actually really work hard to protect forests and animals, which might disappear forever in coming times. So it is very unfortunate to hear about that. So we'd just like to honor and facilitate those people who are there working on grounds, working in real environment, just to help keep our planet safe. So it will be like a very big celebration of bravery and promise to take the care of our beautiful world for the future. So because of that, we have this concept called Wildlife Hero Awards. This will be given to the trackers of Palamur Tiger Reserve, because they have been doing this thing with Exploring Natures during their work there. It will be a recognition for their support and services in conserving the biodiversity of Palamur Tiger Reserve. and that definitely it will inspire us, it will inspire them, and it will inspire everybody to take and protect our environment for the future generations. This is like some of the guardians of Paramount Tiger Reserve. The names are there. Definitely, we salute them. Uh, Again, a couple of more people there. Then you can see. So it is all about exploring natures. We have been again as told that we work together to appreciate the rhythms and rhymes and cycles and ecosystems of the whole natural world. Because if nature is not there, we are not going to exist. So we have to safeguard, we have to understand the values of the environment, we have to have a sustainable and harmonious coexistence between human and nature and all the stakeholders then and thereof. So this is about exploring natures, and obviously on 6th of October 2024 at 7 p.m. We'll be introducing Wildlife Hero Awards on Google Meet. So I just extend my invitation and request for all the support that you and everybody can extend here for honoring these heroes of the world, who are actually the heroes, in fact. So I just thank you everybody present here, particularly the audience, Sumanta Banerjee, who stayed us with us for a longer time, then all the people who might have left, but again they were there in this talk show. So I extend my thanks to everybody. And Arnada, no words for you, sir. I'm just speechless for all the contributions you have made. Mukulda is always there as a backbone. So I extend my thanks. I just congratulate you and looking forward to have more books from your side, sir. More talk shows. And I always love to talk to you, sir. I don't know why, but again, the kind of
No, it's
involvement
pleasure.
that you show. है ना?
It's pleasure talking to you also, Satyendra ji.
जी जी जी.
ये
So thank you so much, sir.
आप सबके
And
साथ ही बात, मतलब ये एक अच्छा प्लेटफॉर्म है
जी
बेसिकली
sir.
इंटरेक्शन का.
जी. And again, being the host of the show, I have a very, I don't know whether it's good record or a bad record, I don't know, but I start on time and I end on time. So it was around 1 hour or so. So we are just 2 minutes behind. So I
No, yeah.
obviously would like to give the time to Mukul Mukherjee sir, who is actually the driving force behind that. And today, obviously, he's driving his own car. Still, he is there on the show. So, Mukulda, if you'd like to say something, please. Your voice is not coming, sir.
You're on mute.
It was absolutely a wonderful session, and really we are very much honored that Arnab is with us. He is also one of our consultant and an advisor as well. And definitely we will be implementing this ecotourism and inclusive tourism, and basically the pseudo tourism
Hmm.
very soon. And this will be led by Arnab, by you only. And definitely we have also, like, listed your book in our platform, in our website as well. So
Right.
and we are greatly honored for that, to list your book on our website. And definitely we will also, uh, basically we will try to reach more people with your books, with your thoughts. And we will continue to do walk on the footsteps which you have shown us, definitely. And thank you so much for the wonderful seminar, Dada.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Let's call it a day then, sir. And
Yes.
looking forward
Thank
to
you,
have you on
Satyendra
the.
ji, for
Uh,
organizing this. I mean, relentlessly every month for hosting this session. हर महीने एक मतलब आपको एक मतलब प्रिपरेशन भी लेना पड़ता है. इजी नहीं है क्योंकि आपका इज नॉट द ओनली जॉब यू डू. तो
अरे नहीं
उसमें से
नहीं,
टाइम
मुकुल दा का
देना
है भैया वो, हाँ, तो
सेशन
Actually,
होस्ट लेना
actually,
पड़ता है, जो हम कभी
actually,
रियलाइज नहीं
uh,
करते.
actually, we try to, like, host this type of yes, seminars, so that, like, we will be able to educate more people, with our the library what we are creating. And it's an opportunity again for everyone, and providing them a platform, which is, I think, very much required. Without that, it is very difficult to create, or, to create a path. Basically, it is very difficult.
very true.
And I'm very
बिल्कुल.
much I'm very much, yeah, providing my gratitude to Sumantoda, who has been here with us. So Sumantoda, if you could say something from your end, would be really great.
Hi, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Okay. So, myself, Sumanta Banerjee, and by profession, I'm a hydrologist, PhD. Maybe Mr. Basu knows him under Professor Sikdar from
Oh,
ISW.
really? Okay. It's a small world.
So, yes.
I know Professor Sikdar very well. I mean, almost every week we talk to each other.
So, I completed PhD in hydrologist and working in the industry for almost 18-20 years.
Okay.
And visiting across the world as well as Indian forest since last 10-12 years, like you, as you said. So just one question I would like to ask you, whether have you included policies and politics in this book of ecotourism?
Very less policies probably to some extent. Policies and politics is there. Whenever I have encountered certain policies and politics, I've talked about it, but I purposefully I didn't want to criticize or analyze any policies and politics.
Right. Okay.
In few cases, I had to talk about it because those are very relevant thing. Actually, what I talked about. Yeah.
No, it's what I got the message from your book. It's very relevant, and I would like to go through this entire book very soon.
Sure.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
So,
do you teach, Mr. Dr. Banerjee? Do you teach?
No. I'm in industry.
You're in industry.
okay. That is
So, I don't know whether you know, Azza is very junior to you. He used to work in ERM for quite some time in Kolkata. Somojit Basu.
Of course, I know very well.
So, yeah, he used to work under me for quite some time, and then he joined ERM. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Nice.
okay. Thank you so much, Dada.
And Sumantoda would like to ask you how you got to know about our seminar.
Through your WhatsApp messages.
Okay.
I'm in the group. I'm in that group, and sometimes post sometimes post leopard pictures. Recently visited
Okay.
Rajaj.
Oh.
Acha.
Right.
Okay.
No,
Okay, so you are in my
every month I visit forest, like every month,
Oh,
and
nice,
known
nice.
and unknown.
So,
forest. Yeah.
okay, so you are in our community group or in our workshop group? We have two groups
Community
basically.
group, WhatsApp group.
Okay,
Community.
nice.
But it's a really small word, huh? I mean, two common points between Dr. Banerjee and me.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Dada, for being there till the last moment of the show. Arnab, again, Mukulda, thank you so much for
Thank
letting
you so
me
much.
in the capacity of a host. Let's call it a day then. Thank
Yes.
you so much. Looking forward to
Thank
have you again there. Okay,
Thank you,
good night. Bye bye. Shabba khair.
Step back here.